talking about the future and feeling positive, because we are surrounded by all kinds of worrying news and things that can bring you down in a second. What is
Yes.
your advice to people that cannot hold their positivity due to the happenings in the world?
Um, Shut the world out.
Mhm.
Shut the world out. Live in your own bubble. That's one of the things I do. Look, I always say the things that are really important, you're going to find out about. Everything else, shut it off, block it out. Take negative people out of your life. Unfortunately, and when I say that, there's sometimes that we have to kind of walk away from the people that we really love the most, which is our family at times, because maybe they keep holding us down. So it's shut off the negativity off, put it away, live in your own bubble for a while, your bubble of positivity, of being able to do everything that you want to do, to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. And that's what's going to get you out there. The economy is not going to make you money. The economy, you make your own economy, you make your own money. And the reason I say that is because I made a lot of money on a good economy and a bad economy. So the economy doesn't make me money. The president is not going to make me money. It's going to help explode whatever you have going on if you know how to take advantage of those situations. But at the end of the day, don't focus on that. Don't be so consumed with what's going on with that. Let's pray for everybody else. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for abundance. Let's pray for everything else. But in the meantime, news are always going to be negative because they want people love gossip. News are going to give you the gossip that people love. But if you stay out of that gossip, then you're going to focus into the positive things.
Welcome to the Grow and Learn podcast, your go-to source for expertise and insights on a variety of topics: business growth, leadership, technology, personal and business finance, and more. We've curated a vast network of business experts ready to address your company's most pressing challenges. From corporate growth strategy to leadership, marketing strategy, sales strategy, branding, customer relations, technology, AI, IT security, and beyond, we connect you to the best experts for your needs. Reach out to us for more information or schedule a call at grownlearn.org to explore how we can support you. I am back with another stellar guest. With me again is Edwin Carrion. He is the God-made millionaire. He comes from a humble background, but he made it in the millions, and now he's coaching people like you, people who want to scale 10x, 100x, many x. Hi, Edwin. Welcome.
Hi, Serena. Thank you for having me here. And to everybody listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Once again, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Edwin, what have you been working on in the past year? What happened? I know that some people haven't watched the first interview, and I would like to have an introduction. But what happened in the past year? And then we come back to
in the past year, since the last time I was on your podcast, a lot of things have happened. One of them is that I actually moved from the United States to South America. So I'm living in Cali, Colombia right now, and really enjoying my time here in South America, traveling, getting to know this beautiful country, going bike riding up to the highest peaks of the mountains there are here, and just enjoying my time with my family and my kids. Besides that, real estate development, got some amazing projects under the way. Thing in total, the biggest one, my favorite one, is a $12 million house that we're working on. So I'm super excited for that. And last but not least, the success of the people that I mentor and I teach them to become successful. I had quite a few success stories this year, so I'm super happy of that, and that kind of fulfills my heart. And it kind of just makes me proud of knowing that what I'm teaching is really seeing the benefits, the results of really successful entrepreneurs that really want to grow their business and have an amazing, fulfilled life.
Mm-hmm. Edwin, let's go back and maybe repeat for some of the viewers a bit of your story and where you actually got your practical knowledge of how to teach people how to grow. How did you grow yourself? How did you grow your business?
How did I grow myself in business? Well, number one, I started business when I was very young, at 14 years old. I was raised by a single mother, come from Ecuador. I came to the United States, joined the Marine Corps, left the Marine Corps, started my first major company in real estate development, made a lot of money, and then I went bankrupt in 2007 when the real estate market crashed. And at that moment, because I was self-taught and everything that I wanted to do, I wanted to do it on my own. I realized the power of mentoring. I went into a seminar and I learned all about, how to grow yourself, how to grow your mind, work on personal development, to always have mentors in your life. And that's the moment that I really started taking action and paying attention to everything that I learned that day, because I was surrounded by a lot of successful people. And this was 2008 when the economy was really bad. And coming from that seminar, it really shifted my mindset into knowing that I could be successful if I did it once. Came back, had an opportunity, started a second major company in the gold buying business, and we made millions within a couple of years. I was back on top again, sold that company. I learned the power of growing a company, scaling a company, exiting a company. And I went back into real estate development. I sold that company again, went back into the transportation industry, grew that company really fast. And I just exited that company this year. And now really focus into what my God-given talent was, that to teach others how to become successful. So that's like the short story to everything that I have going on in my life. But through all these awesome things, again, there was a lot of failures, there was a lot of troubles, there was a lot of headaches and everything else. But the most important thing out of all of that is that having the right mentors in my life by my side all the time has gotten me to where I am today, financially successful, financially free, having a good relationship with my wife, being a good father, because not knowing, and all odds are against me, growing up raised by a single mom, not having a father around. So, all those things come into place, and also taking care of myself and being, physically fit and healthy. So kind of that's the short story right there.
Mm-hmm. You seem to have it all put together. How long does it take for somebody to kind of dig themselves out of a previous mindset and adopt this new way of thinking that will take you to the lifestyle eventually?
Yeah, how long does it take? It takes until you decide to take action and to really change yourself and realize that you need to get out of that rut, right? So this year I was in a very bad place. I had a huge loss because I partnered up with the wrong person, and we lost like over $4 million. And that wasn't what really had me in a bad situation. The thing that had me into a bad situation was mostly the legal consequences that came with it. But it goes back into what I said, whenever you want to take action. So to me, again, I was feeling sad for a while. I was feeling bad. I kind of like lost my motivation until I said, I'm going to put it on God's hands. And the moment that I put it on God's hands and I really started, getting up off the feet and just continue moving forward with my life, that was the moment that things changed. So, whenever we go through those problems, I think it's whenever we decide that it's enough and we have to put that in the back, put those struggles away, put it in God's hands, and just kind of continue moving forward, and then things change right away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's basically you've had a lot of learnings. Let's put it this way: on the way to your business growth, you've learned a lot through, some call it failures, but let's call it learnings.
Yes, and that's where they are,
Yeah.
learnings. It's how we look at things, right? We could go to a failure and get stuck in that, or we could call it a lesson. And to me, just because you said the learning, to me, I always said that my biggest blessing was going bankrupt in 2007 and losing over $20 million, because that taught me how not to make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm. In the in your online program, because you're coaching, but you also have a few online programs, and
Yes.
one of them contains, what I recall, a component on relationships. Could you talk
Yes.
a little bit about why this is included in your business growth?
The relationship, yeah, the relationship, it's called the relationship protocol, right? And I think it's extremely important because one of the things that I said, to me, I want people to have a fulfilled life. And in order to have a fulfilled life, we need to, some of them call it balance. And you might hear some gurus out there that tell you, if you want to be successful, you cannot have a balance in life. But a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays, the ones that are kind of like getting to the point of making it, they're on their 30s, 40s, but they already have a family, they're married, or they have a relationship. So when you're at that point in life, you know, these gurus are telling you, choose, leave everything behind and just work, work, work to become successful. But then when you do that and you reach, the level of success that you want, then your marriage and your relationship falls apart because you never put effort into that. So to me, it's extremely important to have the balance. Is okay, how can we have a successful relationship, a successful life? Because it's not only about money, it's about everything else. So that's why I include that into my business super stack, is because I want to make sure that they understand that you can have everything you want in your life. And how do you do that? Is again, is by understanding and learning what I teach in my business super stack.
Mhm. What else is in the super stack? What else do you teach or facilitate people to awaken on their way, on their path to business success?
Awesome. Well, you got ahead of me, so let me just kind of like, to all of you that are listening right now. So one of the things that I'm gonna do is at the end of the show, by the time you finish listening to this, I'm gonna give you a free gift that I only give to my paid clients, and that is called my Business Super Stack Kit. So in that Business Super Stack, you're gonna have everything that is gonna help you to shortcut your way to success. And what do I mean by that? Again, I'm gonna have a business plan, templates. How can you have the best business plan so you can raise millions of dollars? I'm gonna have the mindset blueprint, because we need to have the right mindset in order to be successful. How can we have how can we sell things? So in order for us to sell things, we need to have the win-win sales negotiation blueprint. So I have that. I have the relationship protocol, and I have another one that is going to help you figure out, if you're not in business, what kind of business to start. It's going to give you the business idea frameworks. And at the end of the day, if you really can't figure out how to make money, what kind of business to start, I'm going to give you my book, which is called Secrets of the Millionaire Gold Buyer, which is going to teach you how to create wealth buying and selling precious metals. So that's my business secret super stack. Make sure you stay until the end so you could get that for free and you figure out how you're going to get it.
Oh, how cool. I'm staying till the end. Very cool, Edwin. Let's talk about scaling. Or shall we talk about starting up? People who usually look for your services are looking to scale and to grow fast, right?
Yes, yes. A lot of the entrepreneurs that I work with, they're entrepreneurs that are already making $500,000 in revenue or plus, and they want to get past that $1 million mark, because I think in business that is one of the hardest things to do, is get to that first million. And then it becomes other ceilings, right? We get from 1 million to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20. So that's where I help a lot of entrepreneurs get through that breakthrough of, what do I need to do in my business in order to get to that first million, to that first 10 million, to that first 20 million?
Mm-hmm. A lot of statistics actually claim lack of capital for the failure of most business endeavors. How do you overcome lack of capital when it comes to scaling, the advice that you give to entrepreneurs?
Raising capital. And that's one of the beautiful things, because in order for you to be able to continue scaling your business, or even start a business, we need the capital, right? And part of that is that if we don't know where to get that capital from, because if we don't have it within ourselves, it's like, where do we find that? How can we have access to capital? And one of the things that I always teach everyone is like, this world is made of abundance. God made an abundant world. And in order for us, if you think about it, there's millions of cars, millions of trees, there's millions of people, there's like a lot of abundance. So there's a lot of money, there's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars throughout the whole world. So there's people that have a lot of money. You might not be the one, but can you get money from somebody? For sure you can, if you know how to do it right.
Do you direct them to certain resources, specific resources where they can look for investors or other ways to raise capital? Or
Yes, depends on what capacity they're working with me. One of the things that I do to the clients that work with me one-on-one, they have access to my Rolodex. And I think that's one of the most powerful things that people do not understand or do not value, is that, when you have access to somebody and that person is willing and giving you access to the Rolodex, they're just opening up their phone book to, unlimited potential of things that you can do.
Mhm. Okay, so now that we got the investment out of the way, the investment question, what other aspects of growth are there? I know you mentioned technology. What else is there in terms of what we need for scaling?
Oh, I mean, I think the first thing, I'm going to tell you the first thing that we all need. We all need to have that millionaire or that millionaire dollar mindset. If, there's a lot of people that want to scale to the $1 million, But if you don't have the $1 million mindset, you're never going to get there. If you're afraid of investing $10,000, $100,000, how are you going to be able to get $1 million if you're afraid of $100,000? So that's the first thing that I always tell them. The other thing is we need to understand what is the mapping of our business. Are we having our business mapped the right way? Did we put the right systems and processes in place in order for our business to grow? Because that's the reason a lot of entrepreneurs are not able to walk away from their business and let their business run by itself because they don't have the systems and processes in place, right? And then from there, nowadays, we talk about leveraging tools. What tools do we need to leverage in our business in order for that to be scalable? How can we continue growing? And as we're putting all those things together, we need to talk about, okay, what are the financial systems? What are the finances that we need in our business to structure it for growth? What are we going to need? And just like you mentioned, as we're scaling, we're going to need growth. And just to give you a quick live example of that, the moment that I bought the transportation company, we had to go from 8 trucks to 16 trucks. So because of the salary that I was taking, I didn't want that to affect the revenue, right? And the income from that company. So I'm like, okay, in order to do that, we have to double its fleet. But the doubling its fleet is going to require a lot of capital. How are we going to be able to do that? So understanding those steps as you're scaling the business, those milestones, when you're going to need capital, how much capital are you going to need is extremely important. And then from there is we have to build the scalable systems. We have to make sure that we have the right partnerships and always following our KPIs. What are the data-driven decisions that we need to make sure that we're staying on top with every day? And last but not least, how we're going to sustain that growth. Because it's not only about growing, but it's how do we sustain that growth? Do we have the right pillars? Do we have the right roots in our business? So once we build a big business, it doesn't crumble in 1 second.
Mm-hmm. A business is a part of the overall environment and economy. And as much as I understand the mindset and how it affects and can change a lot of things in your environment, there's still certain aspects that we can't directly influence. For example, interest rates for lending, for borrowing, or the availability of capital for that matter, which is, I know at the moment it's shrinking. If people don't have so much access, it's not freely available for startups at the moment, or for, I mean, it really depends on the type of business, but it's more expensive right now to borrow as it used to be. Do you offer an alternative to this, or what is your stance? Do you think there's a solution to everything and the environment doesn't affect us? What's your thinking on that?
Well, no, I love that question. And there is a solution to everything except death. Okay, so there is always a solution to everything except death, right? It's how you choose to view things, how you choose to view the solution. So yes, interest rates might be high right now, but does it really matter if it's going to take your business 10x more, right? Does it really matter how much interest rate? So to go back, when the economy was bad, when the economy was hurting in 2008, I had to borrow money to start the new venture because I was bankrupt, and I had to borrow $300,000. Okay, so when I went to borrow $300,000, I told the investors, hey, I'm going to pay you 5% per month, and I'm going to pay you back in 3 months. So I'm talking about I was paying 60% a year. Did I really care that I was paying 60% a year? No, because I knew I was going to make a lot more money, and I was willing to take that risk because I needed that in order to start that business. And sure enough, did it work out? Yes, it worked out and it paid off. So when I went back the second time around, after I paid that money back in 3 months, and the investors told me, Edwin, I don't need the money, keep the money. And this is, we're talking about a recession, right? $300,000 thrown at me, telling me, Edwin, keep the money. I don't need the money. I need you to work the money. I'm like, okay, now you have leverage because now you've proven that you're able to pay back, that you don't keep paying high interest. So now I went back and I told them, hey, I'm going to pay you now 30% a year because I don't need the money. I'm just doing you a favor. So 6 months passed by, I paid them back. Like, Edwin, keep the money again. I'm like, okay, I really didn't need the money then because we're already making millions, but I borrowed that money and I told them, okay, now I'm going to pay you 12% a year. And they were okay with that. So the thing that I want to make clear here right now is that it doesn't matter what the interest rates are right now. They could be 10, 20%. If you know that you're able to borrow that money, and that money is going to make you a lot of money, then it doesn't matter what the interest rates are going to be. You have to be sure on yourself that you're able to deliver and you're going to be able to pay back. And that's all that matters.
Okay. You mentioned also that one of the giveaways in the package would be a book that, in case nothing else works, would teach people how to trade gold and silver.
Yes.
Yes. So talk to us about, or share with us, please, why would anybody who's in for, let's say, business success choose all the hardship of business instead of trading crypto, NFTs, gold, silver, whatever is the hype at the moment, and making much more money?
Okay, can you repeat that again? Because I
Why,
lost you
why
some.
would anybody go through the hardship of doing business
Uh-huh.
rather than making money trading crypto or high growth assets?
Okay, why would the, because not everybody has the same skills. And from a personal experience, trading is a very lonely environment, right? Because you're there by yourself, sitting in a computer all day long. So unless you're a type of person that you're a loner, that you're an introvert, that you don't like to be around people, then that might be the one for you. But if you're not that type of person, then you want to have, be in front of people, be around people. But one of the things that, I learned a lot is that, God called us to be servants of people. So whenever we start a business and we provide a service for somebody, it doesn't matter what it is. For me, helping people scale their companies, I'm providing a service for them because it's for their well-being, for their future, right? So when we talk about, it doesn't matter what we're selling. If we're selling shoes, if we're selling purses, whatever we're selling, we're providing a service to other people. So we're being servants of God. And I think that's more fulfilling than just kind of making a lot of money sitting in front of a computer and just becoming wealthy rich when you're not going to be able to share with anybody.
I was expecting this answer, and then I'm happy you you followed through.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was
fantastic.
a test. I passed the test. Check.
I knew you were going to answer that. Fantastic. No, that's my thinking as well. We need to share our God-given skills um, to feel fulfilled. It's not really
Yeah.
only about returns, but it's about the fulfillment and about the service we can provide for others.
Yes.
Yes. What else would you like to share, Edwin? Do you have a book? Is this your only book, the How to Trade Gold and Silver? I have the recollection that you have another book written.
Yes, yes, I do have another book, and it's How to Build $1 Million Business and Life. It's called The 9 Secrets of How to Build $1 Billion Business and Life. And you're also going to get that as a complimentary, as my gift to all of you that stayed here until the end today.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Anything else that you think is important for people to know? Well, what else should they consider apart from their readiness to invest and, the comprehension that they need to give something away in order to open up to receive?
Yes, I think right now, let's talk a little bit more about what's coming up next, right? So we're almost close to the end of the year, and a lot of us start to really like kind of wind down because we think the year is over. And we're like, okay, we're not going to make anything else. We're not going to do anything else until next year. Let's just start really winding down. And one of the things that I love to do is I always love to talk about, let's finish the year on a high note. And if we finish the year on a high note, if we finish the year strong, because that's going to carry on the momentum for us to start the new year. And some of the questions that you ask, okay, what do we need to do in order to finish the year on a high note, right? So the first thing we need to do is we need to plan ahead. And when we talk about plan ahead, I'm talking about what do we want our next year to be like? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want to see? What do we want to do? Right? These are the three main questions that we need to ask ourselves. What do we want to see? What do we want to do? And what do we want to accomplish? The moment that you start looking at them and working towards that and writing all those things down, that's planning ahead. And making sure that we start working on that now, so like that we start with a huge momentum. So let's not, if we want to be healthy and we want to lose weight, let's not wait until the first of the year to say, oh, we're going to start working out at the first of the year. No, let's start now, so like that when the first of the year comes around, our momentum is stronger. Now we feel stronger. Now we could go harder. And that's one of the things. The other one is, let's take time for ourselves. We're so busy and we're so consumed with everything that's going on right now that we really sit down and take time for ourselves. And one of the things that I love is always taking a little bit of time, taking a day off here and there to really meditate, to really learn myself, to really understand and go back into being grateful for all my accomplishments and giving myself praise for the little accomplishments that sometimes we don't give ourselves because we tend to say, hey, that wasn't good enough. Let's keep moving forward. But that was good enough in somebody else's eyes. So let's take that credit. Let's really, applaud ourselves on that. The other one is be positive. Positivity. A lot of people don't think that being positive is a huge tool to be able to become more successful in all areas of your life. But if you want things to go as planned, you have to stay positive. You have to stay on top. And yes, positivity dies down, but there's always something good in our day that will make us be more positive than negative. It just you choose how you want to look at things. So that's kind of what I will say is, how do we finish the year strong? Is by doing those simple things.
I like these things, and I must say that for me, the beginning of September has always been the strongest push, as a matter of fact, in terms of activity. I've always felt more energized from September onwards to achieve things. Now, to your first advice, what do you plan to achieve? What do you plan to see? What do you plan to do? Why have you chosen these specific 3 things?
I think those are the basic questions that we don't ask ourselves enough, right? Because all we focus on the day to day is, okay, what's going on here? Why isn't this happening? What do I need to do? I'm trying to get here. But we have to look at things long term. And when we start looking at things long term, and the reason for my success is because I'm always consistent with everything. So by planning ahead, now we're going to kind of follow that consistency into getting to the end result, into the end goal. And that's what's going to get you there.
Okay. Talking about the future and feeling positive, because we are surrounded by all kinds of worrying news and things that can bring you down in a second. What is
Yes.
your advice to people that cannot hold their positivity due to the happenings in the world?
Shut the world out. Shut the world out. Live in your own bubble. That's one of the things I do. Look, I always say the things that are really important, you're going to find out about. Everything else, shut it off, block it out. Take negative people out of your life. Unfortunately, and when I say that, there's sometimes that we have to kind of walk away from the people that we really love the most, which is our family at times, because maybe they keep holding us down. So it's shut off the negativity off, put it away, live in your own bubble for a while, your bubble of positivity, of being able to do everything that you want to do, to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. And that's what's going to get you out there. The economy is not going to make you money. The economy, you make your own economy, you make your own money. And the reason I say that is because I made a lot of money on a good economy and a bad economy. So the economy doesn't make me money. The president is not going to make me money. It's going to help explode whatever you have going on if you know how to take advantage of those situations. But at the end of the day, don't focus on that. Don't be so consumed with what's going on with that. Let's pray for everybody else. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for abundance. Let's pray for everything else. But in the meantime, news are always going to be negative because they want people love gossip. News are going to give you the gossip that people love. But if you stay out of that gossip, then you're going to focus into the positive things. Surround yourself by like-minded individuals. That is a huge one. Everybody talks about your network is your net worth. Yes, if you are the poorest guy in the room, then you're going to grow a scale really fast. But if you are the smartest person, the richest person in the room, you're going to get stuck there.
What is your personal goal for the future, for the near future? What do you want to achieve? You've achieved already so much. What do you want to, what imprint do you want to leave?
Well, achieving in a couple of reasons. Let's talk about financial achievements. So on the financial achievement side, now I want to get to $100 million. And what do I want to get to $100 million in revenues? And it's because, like I mentioned a minute ago, hanging around with the right crowd, it helps you elevate. I was very comfortable for many years. I've been very comfortable, and I have been in a comfort zone where I haven't really worked. Maybe I work 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week, and just really enjoying my life. But hanging out with these guys that are doing 100, 200, $500,000, $1 billion a year, it's pushing me to elevate myself, to continue moving forward, because I know I could have a bigger impact the more that I make. So that's number one. Spiritually, to continue having a better relationship with God, always continue having that. Family wise and relationship wise, to be the best father, the best role model as a man for my daughters, and for my wife to be the best husband and the best man that she could ever have.
Oh, that's so nice. That's really amazing.
Thank you.
Fantastic goals. I like it very much that you put your family goals with the overall success goals. I think it's extremely important. Edwin, what have I missed asking you that you would like to share in this episode?
No, I think we covered a lot in a short period of time, and I think that's more than enough. The only thing I will tell everybody is that whoever is listening to the podcast, whatever little golden nugget you got from here today is, go ahead and put that into action, because it doesn't do you any good to just listen and continue learning all the time. We have to start putting things into action. And if you're an action taker, go ahead and follow me in my social media channels. Send me a DM. Make sure you get all these free tools that I'm giving away to you that only my paid clients get, and start taking action so like that you could get your life and you live the life that you always deserved and you always wanted.
So how can people get this golden pack, the business super stack?
Okay, the best way to get that is make sure you send me a DM in my social media channels, Edwin Carrion 78, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, what else? YouTube. So go follow me, Edwin Carrion 78, and send me a message. Send me a message with the word podcast 24, and you will get that.
Fantastic. I will put it in the description for anybody who couldn't catch this. I'll put in the description how you can get a hold of the business tech. And one last question before we finish. When you say surround yourself by people who are positive, people who earn more than you, everybody knows the average of your 5 best friends and all that thing. Clearly, when you're surrounded by people who are ambitious, they take you with them, together with the wave.
Yes.
But many people, most of the people that I've spoken to on my other platform, GrowNLearn, my individual clients, they always say, this is my biggest problem. I cannot find like-minded people. I cannot find positive people. In your experience, do they need to be physically with you, or can you find them online? How do you connect with such people?
I mean, look, if we're having this podcast 20 years ago, I will tell you they have to be physically with us, right? But we're not. We're in 2024, going on 2025. Technology is in another world, and they don't have to be physically with you. They could be anywhere in the world. Like, I have so many connections and so many high-profile people that I talk to that they're not where I am, especially me being in South America. So no, they don't have to be physically with you. It's nice that you meet with them once in a while physically, but those connections are kept. Those relationships are built, online, through text message, through everything else. So I'll give you real quick the last thing before I leave you, which is the power of the 333. So if you want to have really good connections, is make sure that you message 3 people every day. You email 3 people every day, and you call 3 people every day. And what are you going to do? You're going to sell them something. You're going to ask them for help, or you are going to ask them if they need help. That's how you're going to build amazing relationships. If you do this every day, you're going to have 3,200 connections in 1 year. And if you ask me, will that increase my revenue? I'll ask you, if you're talking to 3,200 people on a year, how many of those do you think you're going to be able to connect and do business with?
Wow, that's a fantastic advice. The people that you coach, do they use this methodology?
Yes, they do. That's one of the methodologies that I tell them to do.
And what are the results they're getting out of it?
I just a quick one. One of my top students raised $5 million in less than a year doing that.
That's what, seed day, first raising of capital?
Yes, first time.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Edwin, it was a true pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, for your golden nuggets, for your positivity, and for infusing energy into this podcast.
So, Rita, thank you so much for having me. And to everyone here, If you do not know where you're going, you will eventually get there.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Grow and Learn. We hope that you found our podcast informative, engaging, and inspiring. Our mission is to help you keep growing and learning, and we hope that our conversations and insights have provided you with practical advice and useful perspectives. If you're looking for personalized support and guidance to help you achieve your personal or professional growth objectives, I offer a range of services to help. As a trusted management partner and mentor, I work with businesses in the process of transformation, looking for new streams of business, as well as M&A. With an extensive professional network of experts and mentors, I can bring on board the right person or team based on the specific needs of the company I'm working with. To learn more about the services I offer and how I can help you achieve your goals, visit my website at grownlearn.org. You can also reach out to me via email or social media. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode of Grow and Learn, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback is important to us, and it helps us to continue to create content that is relevant and valuable to our listeners. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to sharing more insights and perspectives with you in the future.